Welcome back to the Union County Foundation podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, the Executive Director of the Union County Public Library, Julie Jolliff.
Thanks for having me here today.
Of course. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to dive in to learn more about the library and the new addition that you guys have and kind of all the new programs that you might have and that we will see in 2026. So
Sure.
We're excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to talk about.
Good. Perfect.
So if you wouldn't mind starting off, maybe just give us a little backstory about you and how you became involved with the library.
Sure.
And then maybe kind of go into how this library expansion started.
Sure. Well, it's the library's always been a place that I've loved. I worked there in high school. So, I was a 16-year-old and I was shelving books and, making bulletin boards and doing things like that, checking people out. And that's where I kind of fell in love with the library. And, life bends and twists in lots of different ways. And I went into teaching. And shortly after that, after having a couple of kiddos, I decided, you know what, I want to go back to the library. And I started back at the library in 2019 as the program director, and I was in charge of all the programs. And then shortly thereafter, I was promoted to the director after Karen Call retired. And I was very humbled by that because Karen has very big shoes to fill. She did a lot with the library. So to be thought of that way was just really exciting and really cool. Fast forward to where we're at now, when I took over as director, there was a lot of things that were moving and shaking and kind of in the works, but we were in the middle of COVID. So that was fun and quite the experience to be in that situation. But we also were getting ready for a bond issuance. So we were walking that path and really starting to dig our heels into, it was like, what does Union County really need? So, a lot of people, when they think about the library expansion, they think about the last couple of years where they have seen trucks and a brick and mortar building coming to life. But really, this has been a process since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much you want to know, but it's been a long process of getting the right approvals and a lot of the paperwork done. And, in the last couple of years, we've been doing the building part. And now we're getting ready to launch this beautiful new building. And it's just a really exciting time because everything that we have developed is based on our roots of how we were founded. And I've shared this before, but at our cornerstone ceremony in 1915, John Hoffman said the Union County Public Library is a community center that should have literacy, should have education, should have entertainment, and it should have recreation. So after we read all the data and looked through what does Union County really need, that was pointing toward that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we found his statement, it was like all the pieces just aligned. And we're like, okay, now we know the project we want to build. We want to build a space that is going to house lots of activities and is going to have an immense amount of literacy things that we can do. And really, we've kind of dwindled everything down into 3 words. When someone comes to the library, we want them to learn, we want them to move, and we want them to connect. So that's kind of how we've gotten to where we're at today. And we've developed a community center space that can be used for a lot of different activities. And we have a walking track that we hope we can lean into that move piece. And we have new kitchen spaces, new storage spaces, new offices, meeting spaces. So that's just kind of like the lineage of the library to this point. But as you can see from my shirt, we're just getting started.
Yep.
I really see this as just the beginning, not the finish line.
That's awesome.
So exciting. Give me chills.
Yep.
I can't wait.
I know. I'm super excited for. We have so many natural assets in our community, beautiful parks, and we're really lucky to have 3 of them. But it just feels like when winter comes around, there's nothing to do inside. And so I know I'm really excited to be able to go in and use the walking track and have my husband play hoops with the kids and something to do when it's cold and wet and dreary. That'll help us get us through this winter blues.
And just a central location for the community. We don't have anything like that. The library is that. And then for you guys to just expand more on that, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're so excited. We just can't, just the anticipation it's almost too much to handle sometimes.
Yeah.
I've been walking this, and it has felt like a roller coaster, personally, just lots of
Sure.
ups and downs and twists and turns. And it's like, but I keep going back to, this ride's not over. This is the fun part now. We went through all the heartache and the triumph at the same time, but now we get to really see the impact.
Yeah.
And that's where I could just geek out all day long
Yeah,
and talk
right.
about that all day. So
Our library is so much more than just a library. And one thing that always blows my mind is of your many programs, it just sticks out how many people you feed. And it's everyone, might not notice that it's not just children. It's like our elderly generation and the moms of the people who are bringing their kids in and or grandparents. It's like
That's what I was
food
gonna say.
insecurity is real in our community, and I think that's something that you humbly have addressed without calling a lot of attention to, but it just blows my mind every time.
Well, and I think when I hear library, I think of a younger crowd or younger kids and learning and things like that. But one of the programs, I'm going to do a spotlight to one of your programs
Sure.
here. I love Reminisce.
Reminisce.
So for people who are listening that might not know what that is, do you care to share what
Sure,
Reminisce is?
yeah.
Because I think it's great.
yeah, Reminisce is a senior citizen kind of program that honestly we're riding on the tail of a lot of people that have developed that over years.
Okay.
So, Miss Mary, who worked at the library years ago, she had this vision that she wanted our senior citizens to work with our youth
Okay.
and created an opportunity for them to kind of have an intergenerational program and sit down, have a hot meal together, share a program together. The youth would teach them about tech, and they would share stories about their
the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days and growing up. Over time it's evolved a little bit, and we still want to kind of lean back into those spaces, but recently we've just been doing because we've been meeting in different locations and different things.
It's hard right now.
We're having our people come and have a hot meal with us, and what people don't realize is when you get older and it's just you or your spouse, why make a hot meal?
Yeah.
Why not just eat a turkey sandwich? So this is Clara, who works with us, she always has this great line, and I love it. She goes, "We just spoil them." And I think that's the most endearing thing to say is, like, let's spoil our people.
That's right.
Our elderly people are not getting spoiled. They're not getting doted on. And we spoil our kids all the time. And
Right.
we love that part of it. But this is a time where our elderly and our senior citizens come together. We sit down. We have a hot meal that might be meatloaf, might be lasagna. I mean, it is a full out hot meal, salad,
Right.
dessert, the whole thing. So we do that. And then we provide like a speaker.
Yeah.
And the speaker usually is something that we think they'll be interested in.
Sure.
Or we think it's something that might be happening in the schools or with the foundation or with the youth league that maybe they're removed from now, but they still really want to know.
Yeah, that's right.
And those collaborations are so important to build those community bonds. So we've been doing that for many, many years, and I'm so excited to start it back again because it'll be in our own turf.
Yes.
We were blessed by a lot of churches helping us through this transition time, but we'll be back in our space.
Yeah.
And we get just to show them all
Yeah.
this cool stuff. And now we have so much room to grow. We actually, before we left the library and we're working in temporary locations, we had to break down a wall because we had so many people. It wasn't meeting fire code. We had to expand to 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And that's just really important. Like, we need a place for people to gather. The value of the third place in a community is outstanding. You have the home, and then you have school or work, but this as your second places, but this third place is so vitally important.
It is.
For kids, for seniors, for anyone to gather and to be together. So
And you guys have something for everybody.
we do.
You do.
Yeah.
You hit all the ages, and it's amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you. We Reminisce is probably one of my favorites because as you're walking around and loving on these people, they're loving on you right back.
Aw.
And to serve them a hot meal and to hear what they have to say it's just really endearing. And it's just a really cool program.
Well, and I think if you look at it, like Claire said, you're just spoiling them, but they're probably spoiling us right back.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, this is that generation where we can learn a thing or two from.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. I truly enjoy it.
Well, we know that you have a fantastic team, an amazing staff and board, but I think it'd be really good for you to share about what makes them so great.
Sure. Yeah, I have joked, or I've been listening to the joke of the staff here lately. And one of the gals that works for me, her name's Donna. And she keeps saying, well, Julie just keeps coming up with these ideas and we all just keep joining in and just following her along. And of course, we're all laughing. And what she might not realize is I'm sitting there going, wow, how grateful am I that I can cast these visions and cast these ideas, and to have a group that literally will follow me through fire and the good times and the bad. And this staff has developed and changed so much over time in the most beautiful way. We meet every morning. You know, we're in this transition period of getting into the library, and it has been grueling. It has been hard. It has been physically hard. It's been mentally hard. And I make a list every day at the end of the day with I just do a walk through the building. Hey, tomorrow we're going to do this. Tomorrow we're going to do that. And I make this big old list. And so that next morning we sit down at a table and I go, here's the list. I text it to everybody so everybody knows what. And usually there's like, oh man, that's a long list. But they all take that and they just run with it. And it's not just them going and working through a checklist for me. It's the belief and the vision that is coming. So they know that what we're doing is bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, this has literally been a 5-year process. And when we started, when we got kind of the green light to go, I had this thing in my head where I said, when this is done, I'm going to lay in the, and this sounds really weird, but when you're doing something hard, you gotta grasp at straws to hold on to things. I'm going to lay in the middle of the community center and I'm going to get a special pillow and pillowcase that says, and this is where I was at, not where I'm at anymore, but it said, I did it on the pillowcase. I'm just going to lay there and I'm going to rest. And then the next day we're going to open.
Aw.
And these last few months of seeing like, hey, this is actually going to happen. I've been like, hey, maybe I should order the pillowcase. Maybe I should do this. And I absolutely cannot do it because the idea of putting on that pillowcase, I did it, is so wrong and so misfortunate that I thought like that. But, you know, every day I tell my kids, like, we're growing every single day. So if you're the same person that you were 3 years ago, that's a problem. And so when, you know, that was kind of my North Star, like I was trying to reach for that, to have that moment. But now, like, my new moment, because that's the problem with that moment is none of the people would be there. And that this whole project is not about me. It's about our amazing board. It's about our amazing staff. And more than anything, it's about our patrons. Like, this was not developed and built for Julie Jolliff. This was built and developed for Union County, and to be able to learn and to move and to connect and to be with each other. So now my new thing that, you know, everybody's got to have something to hold on to is I can't wait for when the library is open and people are moving around in the library, utilizing the space, checking out a book, going to story time, walking the track, having an after school snack, you know, that we feed kids, having that hot cup of coffee and walking around and saying in my head over and over, we did it. Because that's what this library is about, is putting together all these pieces that we did. And that is the board that really did something unprecedented. I mean, they were really stuck their neck out and really dug into all that data and said, okay, this is really what we need. It's hard to cast a vision that not everybody can see. And so now, like, we're in this point now where, like, we're getting ready to just do this unveiling and show people, like, this is what we could do. So, but they had to believe in it a long time ago. Same with our staff. They had to believe in it a long time ago, and they have physically labored so hard to get this to happen. And I am so grateful. Like, I just, you know, every day when I give them that list, I'm like, guys, I know this is so hard. And people will say, how did it take this long or whatever? But, you know, we know what it has taken.
That's right.
So, but yeah, no longer is it an I did it. It's a we did it. And it truly is a we with all of our people. So
it's so exciting and something also for you to be proud of. You should still pat yourself on the back because they need you as a fearless leader to take that vision and run with it. Not everybody wakes up with thoughts like Julie. So
That's right.
That
might be
a
a scary
blessing. Yeah, it's a blessing that that you're there for them as well. Though we're all super excited to see it come to life.
Yes.
So
yes,
awesome.
exactly. It might not have been a only for Julie Jolliff, but you did it for all of us, and without you, we couldn't have done it. So
Mhm.
thanks for being that leader
Yeah,
that we
well,
needed.
You're welcome. And I hope, truly hope it's just a catalyst for a lot more things.
That's right.
You know, I tell my kids over and over, like, don't think you can't have that or you can't do that, because it just takes one yes vote, or it just takes one step of faith, and just doing that over and over again just helps build that confidence. And then you're going to get some licks and some things are not going to go right, but you have to keep getting up every day. And I feel like that's what we've been through, is like a process of learning to get up over and over again. So just to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I'm really excited about is like what it's going to look like and feel like when you open up your doors for that first day. So can you, if we were to close our eyes and envision what it's going to look like, what does it look like when you walk through those doors?
Sure. Well, my favorite part is if you've drove by, we have worked so hard to keep the historical integrity of the Carnegie Library, because having a Carnegie Library in our community is special. Carnegie's celebrating 250 years next year. We've had some, emails back and forth with them, but the fact that we still have that is super cool. And then we were able to share with them, like, that original footprint is still there. Yes, we've added on. 99% of the other Carnegie libraries have had to add on or do different things, but it's just because we're growing and expanding. But we worked really hard to keep that same brick, the same clay tiles, just kind of that historical look has been mirrored throughout the whole project.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It
It
is.
looks awesome.
It is gorgeous. I will dote on that, and that's thanks to our contractors and architects and all the work that they did. But as you come in, as you look at the front of the building, there's the new parking lot to the left, and that has about 15 to 20 more spots than what we've ever had before. So that's huge. Because if you can remember back, it was hard to get a parking spot at the library, and like that was staff parking there. And so we have this beautiful new library. There's going to be a drop-off book drop that you don't have to get out of your car for.
That's nice.
So in the past, we've had to get up and get out of our car and put it in the building. You can just pull up just like
That's nice.
a drop-off,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
awesome.
mail. And then as you walk in, you're actually walking, and it's odd because when you can remember the old library, you would call it the upstairs, but you are on the top floor now. And in the old library, you would see steps down and steps up, steps up and down. And now you're greeted at a desk, which I love, because now we get to navigate. We get to tell people where to, hey, are you here for this? Hey, are you here for that? So you're going to walk in and you're going to see a desk, and then you're going to have meeting rooms to your left that are going to be rentable spaces that anybody can use. Just sign up and you can meet with people there. Then you can also have an access point to our elevated walking track. Our elevated walking track is going to be a huge thing for our community in our health and wellness space, and just keeping all of our people moving. As you go to the right of entering the building, there's the whole adult department. And that's where you're going to find all your YA books, your fiction books, your DVDs, your genealogy. So the upper floor is really all adults. There's also a staircase as you come in that goes downstairs, and that's how you can get to the children's department. And then the new addition that will have like the new kitchen, the new storage, and some new offices, meeting spaces, and the big community center room. So those are kind of like the footprint of it. It's really uniquely designed, but we wanted to keep that historic look throughout, and I think it definitely shows that.
Oh, we can't wait to see
I
it.
know. Don't tell us anymore. We
Yeah.
want to see it for ourselves. I'm excited. So we obviously love to partner with the library. We've been a big advocate for the library for a really long time. And so we wanted to just remind everyone in the community that we're only a small piece of the support that the library has had. And that's kind of our role as a foundation. We try to love on everybody as much as we can. So just wanted to give you the opportunity to maybe just share what the community support means to you and how it's been received from you guys.
Sure. The community sport has been something that, like, it makes me emotional when I think about it, because again, we have really launched a vision that is really bigger and beyond what we're used to thinking about. So to get the community to rally around us and to help us at these public meetings and these hearings and these votes and different things, and that they showed up. And those were years ago now, but that means so much to us still. And for them to work with us as we've been in temporary locations and flexing and changing in those different ways. So the community support has been just amazing. I mean, being closed and moving has been hard. For the most part, everybody's been gracious to us, and that's been so helpful, and we just can't wait to get them back in the door. But more than that, like, our community partners have been so great to help fill in gaps. You know, we're a great partner with you guys, and we love meeting with you and talking and vision casting, but we couldn't have done what we're doing without these partners. The foundation being one of our core ones, but also we have a lot of partners in the healthcare space, a lot of partners in the business space, a lot of donors that have, you know, given graciously and want no kudos, want no pat on the back or anything like that. Just that they just want to give because they see that the library is doing something much bigger than itself, and they want to get on board. And you know, as the library, as the director, and as the board support, it's just been really humbling to see so many people step up and say, hey, we know what you're doing. We know that it's been hard, but we know where you're going, and we want to be with you. So to the community, I just want to say thank you. I mean, what a ride we've all been on, that we're getting ready to, again, just see it all come to fruition. But to the partners and businesses that have helped too, and donors, thank you so much. It's just been a really humbling and beautiful ride, and I'm just so grateful for that.
Is there anything else that you might want to add or let the community know about the library?
Sure. I think to end on, I would just like to say that, like, the library's position as we go into the future is we're the guide for the patron who's trying to find their way. So someone that comes into the library for the first time and says, I've never really liked libraries before. I always just feel like they're stuffy, and you know, you're going to get yelled at for being loud. Like, can you help me? Like, we want to guide you and show you, like, the libraries aren't like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we are here to help you find that book that's going to change your life.
Yeah.
You're wanting to start that business, let us find you an audiobook that you can listen to on your way back and forth to work. Maybe it's the mom that's coming in that says, you know, I need to help socializing my young child. Can you help me? Okay, well, we know that birth through 5 is so important for kids to get a good foundation for their learning. And a lot of that can happen at the library. So let us guide you in that way. Like, our job as the library is to set that person that's coming in for the first time as the hero. Like, we're the guide. We want them to be the hero. And so I think that is why I'm so excited to see somebody walk in and go, hey, I just had knee surgery and I'm supposed to do so much rehab, but it's January and I can't walk outside and I can't do those things. And I'll say, oh, that's great. Come to the library. We have a walking track. You can walk here. You know what? Bring a friend with you. So now you're socializing, and now you're making plans to meet up at Kahila later for coffee.
Right.
Like, I think it just has this ripple effect that can go and go and go. But the library really is the guide. The hero of the story will be, and as long as I'm here, and as long as the board that we have, will always be the patron. Because this is not our story. This is their story, and we're ready to elevate them and take them higher. So that's really what I want to do.
That's
Well,
so
everybody
exciting.
grab your tissues after this one. We're so excited for it to open, and we can't wait. And we thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Julie.